What if I told you that a single mistake in valuing your business could cost you thousands, maybe even millions of dollars? Most people assume business valuation is just about crunching numbers, but it's not. It's about telling the true story of your business, and one wrong assumption can completely rewrite that story. So today, we're going to break down the most common mistakes beginners make when valuing a business and how to avoid each one. Stick with me, because there's one mistake near the end that even seasoned business owners overlook, and it could seriously damage your sale or investment. Let's jump right in. Number 1. Confusing value with price. Value and price are not the same thing. Price is what someone is willing to pay. Value is what something is truly worth based on its fundamentals. Let's say you're selling lemonade on a hot day. Someone might pay you $10 a glass out of thirst. That's the price. But the value of that lemonade, ingredients, effort, presentation, might only be $1. In business valuation, beginners often assume their business is worth what they want someone to pay, but a smart buyer, lender, or investor won't care about your dreams. They'll care about hard data, revenues, profits, market trends, risk, and assets. Never confuse what you wish your business is worth with what it's actually worth. Number 2. Relying only on revenue. So many people think, my business made $500,000 last year. It must be worth $500,000. That's not how valuation works. Revenue is important, but it's only part of the picture. Let's say two businesses both make $500,000 per year. One has $400,000 in expenses, the other only has $100,000. Which one do you think is more valuable? The one with higher profits. So instead of just focusing on revenue, always look at net income, or EBITDA, which means earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. That gives a clearer view of how much money the business actually keeps. Number 3. Ignoring market comparables. Imagine trying to sell your house without knowing what similar homes in your neighborhood sold for. Crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what many people do with their businesses. They guess a number without looking at market comparables, also called comps. Let's say you own a bakery in Atlanta. If similar bakeries in your area are selling for 2 times their annual profit, that gives you a rough baseline. If you made $100,000 profit last year, your business might be worth around $200,000. Of course, it's more complex than that, but comps give you a starting point. Skipping them, that's like driving blindfolded. Number 4. Not adjusting for owner perks. Here's a sneaky one most beginners miss. When you run your own business, you might write off your car, your phone, travel, even your lunch meetings. Those are real expenses on the books, but not necessarily business critical. In valuation, we adjust for this by doing what's called add-backs. Let's say your business shows a profit of $70,000, but you paid yourself $30,000 in personal expenses disguised as business write-offs. That means the actual adjusted profit is more like $100,000, and that's what buyers will care about. Failing to adjust these numbers could make your business look way less profitable than it really is. Number 5. Using the wrong valuation method. There's no one-size-fits-all formula. Different industries use different valuation methods, and picking the wrong one can throw your numbers way off. Some common methods include asset-based valuation, good for businesses with lots of equipment or real estate. Income-based valuation, used when profits are consistent. Market-based valuation, comparing to similar businesses recently sold. For example, if you run a consulting firm with no hard assets, using an asset-based approach wouldn't make sense. Likewise, if your business just started and has no profits yet, income-based valuation may undervalue your potential. Choose the method that matches your business model and stage. Number 6. Forgetting to account for debt. Let's say your business is worth $300,000, but you have $100,000 in business loans. Guess what? That doesn't just go away. The buyer or investor will subtract that debt from the total value. So now your business is effectively worth $200,000 in net value. Never forget to factor in liabilities. Otherwise, you're giving yourself a false sense of wealth. Number 7. Valuing based on emotions. This is probably the most dangerous mistake of all. You've poured your heart, soul, and years of late nights into building your business. Of course, it feels priceless, but emotion isn't data. Let's say you own a handmade candle shop. You built every product by hand, sourced every material, and spent holidays filling orders. That doesn't mean your business is worth $1 million, unless the profits and market prove it. Valuation has to be objective. Sentimental value doesn't translate to sale value. Number 8. Overlooking growth potential. Now here's the opposite problem. Some business owners focus only on today's numbers and ignore future potential. Let's say your business made $100,000 this year, but your customer base is doubling every 6 months, and you just signed a deal with a major distributor. That growth matters. Smart investors will often pay a higher multiple for a business with momentum. This is where storytelling meets valuation. You have to show them not just what the business is, but what it could become. The mistake? Not backing up that potential with proof. Show trends, show forecasts, show customer data. A good growth story can raise your valuation, but only if it's backed by evidence. Number 9. Not getting a professional opinion. This one's huge. Too many beginners try to do their valuation all by themselves, usually with a Google spreadsheet and some optimism. Look, if you're just curious what your business might be worth, a DIY estimate is fine. But if you're planning to sell, raise money, or bring on a partner, get a professional business valuation. That could mean hiring a certified appraiser, CPA, or valuation expert. They'll know how to dig into your financials, pick the right valuation method, adjust for industry trends, and give you a credible, defendable number. And guess what? That number can actually increase your value because buyers trust it more. Number 10. Waiting too long to think about valuation. Here's a big truth. You don't wait until you're ready to sell to start thinking about your business's value. By then, it's too late to fix the problems. Smart business owners treat valuation like a regular health checkup. You don't wait until you're in pain. You do it regularly to catch problems early. Doing annual valuations helps you track progress, spot weaknesses, and plan smarter exits. Let's say you plan to sell your business in 3 years. If you know your valuation today, you can spend those years building value, raising profits, reducing risk, documenting systems, improving customer retention. That way, when the time comes, your business isn't just valuable, it's irresistible. Number 11. Not documenting systems and processes. Buyers don't want a job. They want a machine that runs without them. If your business falls apart the second you take a vacation, it's not really a business. It's just you. Valuation isn't just about money. It's about transferability. Can someone else step in and run the business smoothly? Do you have systems in place? Standard operating procedures? Employee training manuals? Client onboarding templates? These things increase your business's value because they reduce the buyer's risk. Neglecting this, you're leaving money on the table. Number 12. Not understanding customer concentration risk. This one's often overlooked, but deadly. Let's say 80% of your income comes from one customer. What happens if they leave? Your whole business crashes. Investors and buyers hate this kind of risk, and they'll discount your value big time. To protect your valuation, diversify your client base. The more evenly spread your revenue, the less risky your business appears, and the higher your potential value. Number 13. Ignoring the industry trends. Valuation doesn't happen in a vacuum. A business selling DVDs in 2005? Hot. In 2025? Not so much. The overall industry trend will influence how much your business is worth because it affects future earnings. Let's say you own a local taxi company. If the rideshare industry is exploding and taking your customers, that impacts your growth outlook and your valuation. Always look at your industry's current trend, technological shifts, regulations, and customer behavior. Is your business adapting or getting left behind? That answer can raise or crush your value. Number 14. Misunderstanding inventory valuation. If your business sells physical products, inventory plays a huge role in valuation. But here's the catch. Inventory is not just a pile of goods. It needs to be accurately tracked, valued, and updated. Some beginners either overvalue old or obsolete inventory or ignore inventory entirely. Let's say you have $50,000 worth of t-shirts sitting in your warehouse, but $20,000 of it is from 2 years ago, out of style, and not selling. A smart buyer will discount that portion heavily. Always separate sellable inventory from obsolete stock and use the correct valuation method, like FIFO, first in, first out, or LIFO, last in, first out, depending on your accounting. Failing to do this can mislead your total business value by tens of thousands. Number 15. Not separating business and personal finances. If your personal and business finances are tangled together, your valuation becomes a nightmare. It's common for beginner business owners to use one bank account for everything. You pay your rent, your groceries, your dog's vet bill, right from your business account. Then tax time hits, or you want to sell, or you want a loan, and now no one, not even you, can tell what money belongs to the business. Messy books destroy trust. To get an accurate valuation, you must have clean, separate financials. This means separate bank accounts, clear bookkeeping, and professional accounting software. Clean financials make your business look serious and valuable. Number 16. Underestimating brand value and goodwill. Not all value is physical or financial. Some of it lives in the minds of your customers. If your business has built a strong reputation, loyal following, or trusted brand, that has real value. Think about a local coffee shop that's been around for 15 years. Everyone in the neighborhood knows it, loves it, trusts it. That loyalty can lead to recurring revenue, strong referrals, and long-term success. This is called goodwill, an intangible asset that should be considered in valuation. But to claim it, you need to back it up, show customer reviews, retention rates, media mentions, and social proof. Goodwill is powerful, but it must be proven, not assumed. Number 17. Forgetting about online presence and digital assets. In today's world, your website, social media, email list, and SEO rankings all have value. If you've built a blog that brings in 500 visitors a month, that's traffic someone else may pay for. If your Instagram has 20,000 loyal followers or your newsletter gets a 40% open rate, those are assets. Let's say you run a fitness studio with 10,000 email subscribers and a website that ranks top 3 for yoga classes in Denver. Those digital footprints increase discoverability and bring in clients on autopilot. And buyers love that. Make sure your digital assets are included and evaluated in the overall valuation. Neglecting them is like leaving money on the table. Number 18. Not considering the business's scalability. Scalability is a major factor in valuation. A business that can grow without massively increasing costs is often seen as more valuable. Let's say you run a bookkeeping service. If you can serve 100 clients with one team and some software automation, you're scalable. But if you run a food truck that needs a new truck and staff every time you want to expand, scaling becomes expensive and complex. Investors and buyers want to know, can this business grow fast and profitably? Highlighting your scalability with data, plans, and examples can boost your perceived value. Ignoring it, you might get stuck with a lower offer. Number 19. Overestimating customer loyalty. This one's sneaky. You might think your customers are loyal, but have you actually tested that? If your customers only buy because you're the cheapest or because they know you personally, those relationships might vanish when the business changes hands. Let's say your dog grooming shop has regulars who come only because they like you. What happens when you sell the business and leave? To prove loyalty, track customer retention metrics, rebooking rates, or recurring revenue. Loyalty based on brand, service, or quality, not just you, adds real value. Loyalty based on personality, risky. Number 20. Valuing before you're ready. Sometimes, the biggest mistake is trying to value a business before it's actually ready. Maybe your systems aren't in place, your financials are messy, your customer base is too small, or you're still testing your pricing. Jumping into valuation too early can give you a false sense of worth or scare away potential buyers. Think of valuation like a performance review. Do it when your business is running smoothly, your books are clean, and your growth story is believable. Being patient and prepared can result in a much higher valuation later on. So now here's the twist I promised you. The biggest mistake in business valuation isn't just a calculation error. It's a mindset error. It's believing that your business value is fixed and out of your control, but it's not. You can increase your business value, starting today, by improving your profits, documenting your systems, diversifying customers, reducing risk, and telling a compelling growth story with evidence to back it up. Valuation isn't a one-time event. It's a long-term strategy. The real question is, are you building a business that's ready to be bought? or just one that's barely surviving? Let me know in the comments. What surprised you most about these valuation mistakes? And what kind of business are you building right now?